everyone. It's pretty early this morning. Well, I say pretty early. I mean, it's earlier than I normally get started on videoing, but I had an idea this morning. I've been needing to make something to differentiate between some items that we have that are identical. So I came up with stitching on different colored material so we could differentiate between them. But then I thought, why just do boring, just a square of boring material? And these are pre-cut squares. I'm sure you've seen them at your local thread store. They just come in packs of pre-cut. These are the 2-inch squares. I've got some 4-inch ones too. But I decided, why stitch on just a boring square when you can stitch on, when you can embroider on them. I mean, like, any excuse to embroider is great with me. So I've decided to do that this morning. So I've been working on my grandson's quilt quite vigorously, I'll say, for several days now. And I've taken a break here and there and done, I made this bowl, which I've been using while I've been quilting because my quilter's thread is in there. And I just ran it up through the corner of this, and then it holds my thread so I don't have to go digging through the basket every time I need to get a new piece of thread. So, I totally did that backwards, y'all. Again, it's early. I apparently am not fully awake yet, but when you wake up with an idea on your brain and you're just like, I need to do this, that's what my brain's been like this morning. And I haven't attached this, I'm just using this as backing material, and I stabilized. Ooh, good grief, words are not coming either. I've not attached, I did these, and then I was like, how am I going to hold these to embroider on them? And then I was like, well, I'll just stick them in a hoop, but then they're not big enough for my smallest hoop. So then I was like, well, I'll just stick another piece of material behind them. And my pellon is already coming off. I told y'all already, I am not great at getting pellon to stay on. Anyways, so I think I'll just use my quilting thread to just tack this down around the edges before I start embroidering on them, and then I can take those out. And then of course I'm going to trim up the pellon and the backing material so that they won't be seen around the edges of these squares. I'm going to trim them back past the edge of the square, but then of course I'm going to stitch the square down to the item that it needs to be identifying. So I haven't yet decided what I'm going to stitch onto these. Well, I didn't make a big enough knot. Came through. Maybe that one's big enough. So it doesn't have to be straight in here either, because again, these are going to get taken out, and they're just here to hold it down. This is the needle I've been quilting with, and I don't know if you can see that it's got a nice curve in it from the pressure of my thumb now. So I'll have to get a new quilting needle here shortly, because I don't think this one will last much longer. But the quilt is coming along nicely. I will have to do another video on that again soon. So I'll probably cut this part out anyways. You don't want to see me tack this down or spend time watching me tack this down. Okay, that's done. So now we'll just put it in the hoop. Again, I still don't know what I'm going to stitch on here, so I guess we'll just pick a color and figure it out as we go. Just it pretty loose in there. And I don't know if I'll get it tight because this is super thin. I don't know if I'll be able to get it tight enough anyways, and it doesn't really matter. I just need something to give it some stability while I stitch on it. So the little ones are harder to stitch on when they're just kind of flopping around. Those are 12s and 8s. I think a 5 will be too over. Well, I'll have to redo that. I don't think that's gonna go well. My husband's alarm is going off. No worries, he's not actually gonna get up right now anyways. He is not a morning person. There's another 12. I really like that 8. I mean, it's I just think it's too... I had another little Donnie 12 in here. Where did it go? Aha, there it is. I think we can start. Shall we do... Nope. That goes down in there. I think we can... We'll do an 8 as a base. And then we will first decide which way is up and which way is down. Does it matter? I don't think it really matters on this. So since it doesn't matter, we may just do sideways, just 2 or catty corner. So now then, again, pick a stitch. We'll just do my favorite stitch, or one of my favorite stitches. And we'll do feather stitch on this one. Over there. I didn't make that out far enough. It'll be alright. I hope I'm keeping this in frame. I tend to be pulling it toward me. Do it again. Ooh, yep, I like that. That did work out how I wanted it to. Unintentional, but it's gonna be great. Can I get one more in there? I can. So not do that. So then this will be the direction it goes. It's gonna look lovely. And then dark ended up at the bottom. Like that. Let's not do that. Yeah. I guess it's too early in the morning. I'm feeling all thumbs this morning. Or my hands are still stiff from all the quilting I did yesterday and last night. So, but I can definitely tell you when I forget to put my thimble on, because that finger is screaming I've used it so much. Oh, and I was talking about making this bowl. I made this bowl, but I used the pattern from Jennifer's Crazy Quilt Project book. It's in the back of that book. And I did follow her pattern, but of course I didn't add the handle, and I didn't do the embroidery. I needed a bowl, and we're forever running out of places to store our threads as stitchers. So I was just like, I need just more room to hold my threads, put my threads. And I'm just gonna throw some lazy daisies in here to look like leaves. Let's see how that turns out. Come on. Pretty fine. Let's see if we throw another and go in this direction. And again, these don't have to be anything spectacular. I just need them to... I don't like that one. I didn't keep my bottom tidy. And the last few videos I did, I was working on those pants, those blue pants with the bird material on them, and those did not, like, the first one turned out fine. I guess it just ended up not being as much stitching as it was. Look what I found. But then the subsequent videos where I was actually doing the stitching, they did not turn out. Like, a lot of it I had out of frame, so it had to be cut out. So I just had difficulty stitching those videos, so they did not turn out as well as I wanted them to turn out. But I also didn't want to just completely scrap them, so I did get the second part of it put up. So if you haven't seen that, you can go see that, see what I ended up doing with my pants. I guess we'll just keep doing this for a minute. I need to get I don't normally work in a hoop. I wonder if that's part of the problem. I thought that would actually be a help this morning, but I don't know. I can't decide. Like, it depends on the project whether I work in a hoop or not. But my go-to isn't necessarily a hoop. Again, these don't have to be anything spectacular, because they're just, I just didn't want to stitch down a plain, just a basic square. I thought, you know, I'll up my game. I'm gonna try taking this out of the hoop and see if that helps my fumbling any. It's got to come out. So then now it's gonna bleed off into the background, I think. I'll just put it on the end of those. Just put a little. Should I do that? Or let's see. Maybe just a small pistol stitch instead of just a plain French knot. We'll just do some straight stitches instead of that because that pistol stitch was too short to actually look like anything. There's not a lot of room. It's the little space. You only get two in there. That's okay. It's not so bad. I think we may just call that good. Like I said, it doesn't have to be anything spectacular. Just something to make it not a plain square. I do want to put this back on here. And that is. Yeah. Oh my goodness. I want to add a few little twiggies down at the bottom. To fill it out. I'm going through that. Yeah, went through that knot at the back. I don't want that there. Just call it good. I have the hardest time holding on to those little bitty scissors, especially when I'm wearing my thimble. Those are cute. Now, let's just trim this back and see what we're going to end up with. Maybe I need to take my tacking stitch out. Let's just peel back those edges. Then all we're left with is that. And then I can just stitch that down. And it's done. Super cute. I don't know if y'all want to watch me do the others or not. I'll leave the video running for now and see how that turns out. Then hold on 8. this is twisted chain stitch. And sometimes I have to play with it, but I have to remind myself, wrap from the outside, not the inside. See? Still have to remind myself. Can I get one more? I don't think I want to. I think I'll go ahead and do some twiggies down here at the bottom though. Well, my twist came out. Oh well. Ooh, can I get... I can get it. I don't know if I can tie it off. Let's see. Oh, I did manage it. cannot hold these scissors with that thimble on. And I'll have to cut that part out where my son went out the door. And he's about to start his dirt bike because he had his helmet on, so I'll have to cut that part out too because that's loud that nobody wants to hear. Now then, what's that on there? I'm liking this navy. And I've not ever had a whole lot of navy, so this is interesting. I like stitching with it. Now then, what to do, what to do. I am bad about picking a direction and starting in that direction and working my way in the opposite direction. So I usually start at the bottom and work my way up. Let me kind of keep the same little thing going from the other one. That's not bad. I think that's my watch telling me it's time for me to stand up. I probably didn't clock all of the standing I was doing and the walking I was doing before I sat down. So I haven't been sitting here that long. I don't know why. It gets on my nerves, honestly. My son's dog is barking now. He's trying to get his dirt bike started. Oh, that one turned. This one. I don't like this one as much as I like the first one. Should I pull it? No, I don't feel like pulling it. We'll just move on. Move on. Don't make the rest of them so big. Remind myself not to make it big. I stretched it out too far. And that other one. Well, oh well, we'll try again. Again, it doesn't matter. They don't have to be perfect. I'm certainly not a purist or a perfectionist. So now I'm just doing some straight stitches with some French knots on the ends. See if I can get those. When they come in, I could put some couching stitches on those to get those to stay open. I think that would make it look better. But again, I'm not going on anything spectacular anyway, so that doesn't really matter. Bless her, she's upset. I don't think I'm going to put French knots on those. I think I'm going to leave that top one as is. And that one looks super cute too. I'm kind of tempted to try something on the next one. Well, maybe not. It's not. No. I saw a I have a crazy quilting book that's an older crazy quilting book, and it's got some really incredible designs in it. I mean, just incredible. And there's some stitches used in there to make different designs that I've honestly never thought about doing or using them in that manner. And one of them is using some I think it's herringbone stitch and a couple other stitches to make a sailboat. And I thought that would be super cool to try to do, but I could have done it on this one, or should have done it on this one since this is blue. But I don't think it would have the same effect if I did it on the green. So maybe I won't. I wish I'd thought about that when I was working on the blue one, because I would have attempted it on that one. And then let's try. I'll trim that a little bit more. Ta-da! 2 down, 1 to go. Don't need that much, but now then. Let's see, this is the green that I used on this. Or there's this brown that I used on this. Or I wonder if I have another. So it's 5. I think that'll be too big. Size 5. That's a size 8. That kind of looks big. Now, I think I should redeem my feather stitch. That one, I mean, I like it. It's cute. It turned out okay. I mean, again, they don't have to be anything spectacular. That just didn't turn out as cute as that one. So, Maybe I should do another feather stitch and do something cuter. Starting to look a little straight. Like a straight feather stitch instead of just a regular feather stitch. Let's see. Oh, not what I meant to do. Poop. I don't know about y'all, but I have already started watching Christmas movies. We're not even to Thanksgiving yet. As I'm recording this, Thanksgiving is... Actually, it's less than a week away now. This is Sunday. The Sunday before Thanksgiving, so... And let me take that off. This morning, nothing wants to work right. There we go. Sure, I'm not the only one that has those mornings. I'm going to go ahead and put my twiggies down here. So I don't have to come back and do those later. Okay, now I'm going to take a time out and go take her a treat and calm her down a little bit. Okay, I'm back. Hopefully the dog is calmed down now. Now then, what else am I going to do to this? Let's see, got this piece of navy already cut off. Figured I'd use it. It's left over from finishing up that. But what to do with it? What to do with it? Keep doing lazy daisies or straight stitches? Well, already done quite a few straight stitches. Could do some French knots. Today is still a recuperation day. We had all 3 of the grandbabies Friday night. We were just supposed to get the oldest one Friday night. We'd already made plans for that. It's been a while since he's stayed by himself. But then my daughter fell down there stairs coming out of their house. She was taking out the garbage while her husband was at work, and she fell down the stairs and landed on her back, and if you've ever fell down the stairs, you just know how rough that is. But she went down on her back instead of her front, which I've gone down some on my front. I can't say I've done both, and both hurt. Both, you're sore for days. So I went and stayed with her and helped take care of the babies. And then when it got close to bedtime, I brought the kids home with me so that she could get some rest and recuperate. And so we had all three of the babies, and I'm not 20 anymore, that's for sure, or even 30 anymore, and I can definitely feel all of that spent energy. Like, it takes I don't know why it just takes longer to recuperate now, and maybe just because I'm not used to it on a daily basis anymore. I'm not sure, because I mean, I know I have friends who have small children at our age, and it's not undoable, or it's not impossible. Let's do that. It's not impossible. I just can't imagine it. Like, I love the grandbabies and I love having them. I just really feel exhausted by the end of it. So maybe it's just I'm not used to that kind of energy expenditure anymore, or that kind of chaos. I think that's what it is, really. It's just the chaos is draining. Because I feel like, yeah, I think that's what it is. It's just that chaos is draining. Because we don't have a routine, and they're just excited to be at Granny and Grampy's, and it's just chaos. I feel like if that were the norm, then it wouldn't be so hectic and so crazy. And I love a good routine, but since we don't have them all the time, we don't have a routine. Even though I do try to keep some things kind of routine-ish, like, we do dinner, and we let them watch a movie, pick out a movie and watch a movie. Then we do baths and bed, and I read bedtime stories at bedtime. And so we do kind of have like a semblance of a routine, but the rest of it, they're just so excited to be here. They just are just bouncing off the walls, almost literally. And I love that they're excited to be here. I love that they want to come hang out with us and spend time with us, because I know there will be a time where, they're older and we don't want to go to the old people's house, right? It makes me kind of feel bad for my own grandparents, because I remember spending the night with them, and then I remember there all of a sudden was a time where we didn't spend the night with them. And then we were grown and we had our own family, so then the spending nights really were not even, in question. So I know those days will come, and will come quickly, or quicker than I want them to. So I just kind of enjoy the moments and kind of just soak it up while I have it. But yeah, so today's a recuperation day, because we had them Friday night, and this is Sunday, but we had them most of the day Sunday too. Saturday. Just letting my daughter sleep in and rest and slowly get around. And should I leave that like that, or should I add something else to that? I'm not exactly sure what else I would add to that. I may just leave that one like that. That's pretty cute. Yeah, I think we'll just leave that one like that. Like, again, like, they just need to be simple and discernible. Oh, I have to take. Where did I just cut off? Oh, just the end of the string. Okay, nothing essential. Nothing to know it. Now then, you could go like, so now you have little patches that you can sew onto something, or you can use them as gift tags, and you can glue a piece of paper or cardstock to the back of this, and then you could use it. You could punch a little hole somewhere and tie a string to it, use it as a gift tag. There's lots of options for these little things, which actually I have plans to make Christmas tags, very similar to this year as well. So there's you have lots of versatility with these little thingies. If you had a bag you wanted to just add some embellishment to, you could make one of these, and then you can always, like, if you didn't want to leave the raw edges, which I like raw edges, I just do, I think it gives it personality, but you could of course turn your edges under and stitch them down and then stitch it to something, and then you don't have raw edges. Of course you could do that before you embellished on it too, so, but I don't mind the raw edges. I like raw edges. I like the, I just like the shabby chicness of it, I guess. Maybe I'm not even sure what you would call it, but just, I just like it. It just suits my personality, maybe. Imperfect but cute. How about that? I'm not cute. We're just saying that these are imperfect but cute. But I do like, see, like that. You could turn it that. Oh, did they all end up? Because see, that one works both ways. That one you could do it that way, or you could do it that way. That one, I guess it could go. It could go both ways. Maybe that's the beauty of doing it on the corner, is you can turn it whichever way you want to turn it. Because they do work both ways. Can't decide how I like it best. Anyways, okay, cute. Or you could just do it, diamond shaped and stick them on like that. Anyways, but I have these little tags done now, and I'm excited about them. And I'm gonna do more tags in the future for Christmas and stuff. I may not do videos on those, and the only reason I did a video on these today was I was gonna do it, and I was like, why not? Oh, and if you watched my unboxing video that I did for the stuff I had ordered from Jennifer Clouston, I forgot to show you this. My first video that I did on the unboxing did not work. It came out terrible. You couldn't see it. The colors were bad. Anyway, it was just bad. So I put it all back in the pack exactly how it came out, and except I left this out. I forgot to put this back in the package. So it's just a little handwritten note from Jennifer, and one of her little stitchings, and just saying thank you for your order. So I thought that was super cute. But I forgot to show you that with my unboxing of the Jennifer Clouston stuff that I had ordered. So I thought you might like that. Anyway, super cute. I've got this set aside saved because I don't yet know what I'm going to do it. I mean, like, I'm not going to do anything with it as far as adding it to my work, but I do kind of want to save it, so I may end up doing like a stitching journal or something like that. So I may stick it in a stitching journal. So I'm still trying to decide where I'm going to save it in my own stuff. So it's just kind of been floating around. I just keep moving it when I'm in different places, stitching around the house. So but I'm not, if I, out of sight, out of mind, if I put it up, I will forget about it, or I will forget where I put it. I just know me, and that's what will happen. So, I just keep laying it around different places. So it just keeps getting moved around, but, I'm very careful in the moving it around not to damage it. But I will probably in the future do a stitching journal. So when I do that, I will probably just put a little pocket in there that I will stick this into, so that I have this. And one of these days, I keep telling my husband, when we make it to Australia, I'm going to one of Jennifer's classes. So I say it all the time, and he's like, I know. So one of these days we're going to make it to Australia, and I am going to go to one of Jennifer's classes. Hopefully we will make it before she retires. That is my goal. That is my plan. That is my desire, I guess, maybe, or it's a want. It's not a need, but I want to go to one of her classes. I just love her videos, and I love watching just the stuff she creates. So one of these days I will make it to one of her classes, and it will be lovely. But in the meantime, I have her books, and I have several other books that I get ideas and stitches out of. And like I said, it wasn't her book, it was, and I don't even have it in my stack that's right here, of books that I've been reading out of. And I think there's another Jennifer book. Actually, there's 2 more Jennifer books down there in that stack. I'll have to take my books and get her to sign them too, won't I? I'll do that. Yeah, when I make it to her class, I'll have to take all of my Jennifer books and have her sign them too. But I forgot to share this when I showed the unboxing, and I'm going to do a video using the threads and the silk ribbons and stuff that I got from her, or that, should I say, I ordered from her. So, when I made, so I don't know if you remember, but in a previous video, I had this little yellow ball of fabric that I was using as pin cushion, and I made it to go in this cup, this little egg cup that I had. But I decided, I ended up with a yellow piece of felt, so I ended up covering that fabric ball with this yellow piece of felt. And then I finally broke down, well, I've been looking for my hot glue gun and I can't find it anywhere, so I finally just got another one, just bought a new one because I was tired of looking for the other one. And I even held on to the one I bought because I thought, as soon as you buy something to replace something, you find the one you couldn't find. So I waited probably a week to 2 weeks before opening the new one, and finally I was making I'd gotten kits to make snow globes with the grandbabies, so I was like, gotta have a hot glue gun for that. So I opened the new one and I still haven't found the other one, so I guess it really did walk off, I'm not sure. But anyways, I got the hot glue gun out, or since I had the hot glue gun out doing the kit, the snow globes with the grandbabies, I hot glued it into here, and then I also bought these like wooden spools, and I got these. I've been looking for them every time I go to the thrift store. I've been looking for wooden spools like this, but I couldn't find any, and I've really been wanting some. So Hobby Lobby happened to have a pack of them, so I got a pack of them, and this is what I've been wanting to do with this. But then I also decided to make a pin cushion for the top of this. So this is, I'm gonna do a what are these called? A scroll, a stitching scroll. So I'm gonna do a stitching, make a scroll out of this one. So I've already attached some muslin, calico muslin, maybe. It was super thin, super soft. It's an old pillowcase actually. So anyways, I've attached that, so it's just backing material for stitching other things onto. So I may show y'all doing that, but I did embellish my pin cushion some more. And then I had this little thing. This is a candlestick holder. That was my, well, it was my grandmother. She gave it to me. So she's not passed, she's still living. So I didn't want it to make it sound like she had passed away. These are some seashells that I found while at the beach that have these holes in them. So I thought I could use these to make a necklace or something out of. And that's just a random S that I found that I'm going to use later. But anyway, I put this little pin cushion into the candle holder part of this, and I did some stitching on it before I hot glue. I made this the same time I made this, so then I just did some stitching on it just to make it colorful and creative, and then I hot glued it in there while I had my hot glue gun out. So lots of stuff going on, doing still working on the quilt. It's coming along beautifully. If you've ever worked on a quilt, it's just a lot of monotonous stitching, so I do have to take breaks from that, because even though there's parts of that that's very creative, I'm past the largely creative part. So I'm like, okay, my brain needs a change just from this monotonous stitching. So I am still working on that. It's coming along beautifully. I have 3 panels. I don't know if you saw the video or if I actually have it posted yet. I'm not even sure. But I showed you the panels. Like I had taken my squares and sewn them into panels, attached them into panels, and now I'm attaching the panels to each other. And in the process of attaching the panels to each other, I'm also embellishing around each square, each panel, each square within the panel. So as I get my border material put on and attached and the panels fully attached, then I go back and do the embellishing stitches around the outside or the inside of the material that attaches them. So it's the outside of the the outside of the square. Anyways, I'll show you. It's lovely. But anyway, it's taking time. And I knew it would, so it's fine. So lots of stuff that I've been working on and doing. I got some hand towels that I think I might want to try to embellish on. I'm not 100% certain on that yet either. I'm also, I bought a pattern from Jennifer's website. That's the sewing caddy, the travel sewing caddy. So I'm also doing one of those because we're going on a trip in early December. So I actually want to have it finished for that trip so I can take it and use it on the trip, because we're driving to Texas, and that's I think our drive is a 12-hour drive. Our trip to Florida ended up being like a 10 to 10.5 hour drive with various stops and different things when you want to just stop and look at things. But I didn't do any stitching while driving down to Florida, because if I wasn't driving, I apparently needed some rest. So I was sleeping a lot in the car on the way down. And I don't know about you, but sleeping in the car is one of my favorite things to do on a long trip. Like, I don't know why, you just get some really good sleep. I don't know if it's the vibrations of the car or whatever, but you just get some really good sleep in the car. Oh, but I did want to show you these really neat little finds that I found at the thrift store. So this was, I don't know exactly how old it is. It looks kind of old, but not just super old, but it's just a small rolling pin. This one, however, looks really old, and it's got some cracks in the wood and stuff. And I'm not exactly sure. I don't know if this is a kitchen tool. It could be a kitchen tool, but I'm not 100% certain on that. It was in the kitchen tools, but it's okay. I don't have a seam roller, so I thought I could use this for a seam roller. And this, I thought it would just be cute to make a scroll, make this into a scroll, since it's already spinning anyways. So I thought that would just be a really, make it, it would do like an old-timey, like an old scroll. Like, you just pull it and it rolls and unrolls. So I don't know, I just thought I would do that with it. So I am going to do a scroll. I think it's going to look super cool, but I am going to use that to make a scroll, and this I'm just going to leave as is and use it as a seam roller, just because I thought it would be cool, and I was super excited about this find. I don't always find awesome things at the thrift store. Like, I can find some material or old curtains, or I still haven't found any old quilts. I have really been going to the thrift stores looking for old quilts, but I haven't found any of those. But I do find like ribbon or pillowcases or sheets, or I found some crocheted valances that I think will be, they've got some crocheted flowers on them, so I think I can cut the flowers out and use them on something. I think I even am going to put together some kits to sell, because I have ended up with some old, like some vintage material. And that wasn't even a thrift store find. That was just one of the, when I went to Tennessee a few months back, and I was shopping and walking around downtown while my husband was playing disc golf. I found a place and they happened to have a box of old material, and I bought that box of old material. And I come home and I went through it, and there's just so much of it in there. I will never use it all. So why not share? So I will probably put together some kits to, and I've ended up with a ton, like this entire, like I honestly think it's an entire bolt. And I don't mean like this, like the small bolts. I mean like the round roll bolt, the huge bolts. I think I've ended up with almost a whole bolt of lace that I found at a thrift store. It's massive amount of lace. I will never use that much lace. So I've between the lace and the vintage materials and just a whole bunch of stuff that I've come across and stuff, I think I'm gonna, you know, try to put together some quilts. Oh, speaking of those old vintage materials, here's just a small sample of some. I just put this square together, and I haven't done anything else with it. I did this. I wanted to use wool on it, just, I don't know, because this material felt like it would hold, like the wool would do justice on this material. But I'm needing some extra colors in my crewel wool, and I can't find any more crewel wool. So I've kind of taken a break on this while I'm trying to find some more crewel wool, because I'm, like I said, I only had a little bit of pink and a little bit of yellow, and I feel like I think I've used it all already on here, so I'm like, I need some more. And this tied in really well with this. This ties in well with this and this. And there was just this little tiny string of orange, and that's all that I got out of that orange was these little lazy daisies in here. So I've got to get some more crewel wool so that I can do some more stitching on this. And that again was just a fun little piece just to play around with. So anyways, I don't know that I'll do anything else with that. Oh, I am gonna do a rice bag. I do have some panels of stuff that I've already and I did all of this by hand too. Like I have a sewing machine. It's not set up. I don't even know where it is at the moment, but everything that I've done has been by hand. And I like doing it by hand. I really do. So, but I have some just kind of like that, just pieces where I've just sat and embroidered and played with my threads and my stuff, and I don't know what to do with them now. So I've decided I'm going to turn those into a rice bag. So I'm going to do that as well. Oh, and then K3N, she just did a video. I just watched her. I don't know if she just did the video or if I just saw the video. I'm not sure. Anyways, I had videos just playing on YouTube yesterday while I was working on the quilt, and one of her videos popped up, and it's I think she called it a lotus bag. So there's a lotus bag and then a lotus bowl, and like I said, I am constantly I'm running out of places to put all of my thread and stuff. So I really liked the lotus bowl, and it was really simple to make. So I think I'm going to next make a lotus bowl when I get a minute, I guess, or decide to start a new project. This was this morning's project and came out nicely, so I will get these put on the things that I made them for, and I think we will be good. So I'll keep you posted on what else. Oh, and we still have to do the house shoe video. Because y'all, my old house shoes are giving up the ghost quickly. So, so I really need to be wearing these. So I've been waiting to wear these so that I could finish the stitching with you guys, so then I could start wearing them, because they're white, and let's be honest, they're going to end up dirty really quickly and easily. So they're only going to be cute for a little while, but that's okay. But anyways, I need to do that video with you guys too, so I hopefully will do that soon. So anyways, we'll call it good for now. Hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you guys later. Bye.